Fourth true outcome. We are back. Episode 2.
Hello, hello. So, Allendorf, have you decided what your new name is?
You've had a whole week, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Hope it was a good one.
think I settled on Jamie. It's gonna just be what it is.
Jamie,
okay.
Yeah,
not a
feeling
fan of
weird
that
for a little
one,
bit.
We
but
need, yeah, I think the show needed a girl, and I think
exactly.
yeah,
No,
exactly.
Jamie is a very strong gender neutral name.
Exactly.
It's actually very cool now,
Yeah,
because of Game
You're
of Thrones.
bridging the gap for
Game of
us.
Thrones
yeah.
made that a masculine, cool name.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway,
If that
uh,
helps you sleep.
yeah,
It does.
yeah.
Okay.
We have a lot of fun things to talk about, but we kind of have to start with something that isn't very fun to talk about. So it was a perfect game thrown in baseball, Major League Baseball to be exact, this week, done by one Domingo Herman of the New York Yankees. While the perfect game is a team effort worth celebrating in any respect, him personally, he is not somebody who makes me all that happy to see happy. He's got uh, previous history of domestic abuse, um, slapped his girlfriend, now wife, in public at a team event. And later, the cops had to be called to restrain him from her. A teammate and the teammate's wife had to take her to a hotel room. Um, and since then, he's served a suspension. All sides have said the things that professional baseball teams and players need to say to get on with their lives. And Yankee fans and anyone forced to watch him pitch is sort of just left with this weird feeling, this like half remembered time that he did this thing, and announcers never bring it up. Um, Lord knows local announcers never do, national ones don't. This should be a very joyous thing. This is a guy on my team throwing a perfect game, and I kind of don't feel anything. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It feels weird. I feel like it's been what, like 5 days or 4 days since he threw it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm not a Yankees fan, but I just feel like people kind of stopped talking about it pretty fast. Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like it kind of just came and went.
I have to imagine that it happening against the A's at 1 in the morning certainly didn't
Yeah.
help.
No one was
And
watching, so did it really happen?
I didn't watch it. Jamie, did
Yeah.
you watch it?
Yeah, I watched the whole game.
Oh,
You did.
Yeah,
well,
I
that
did. I
ruins
watched
it.
the whole game.
So how did you feel?
So it was like a feeling, like any no hitter, it's like, oh my God, is this actually going to happen? And then it did. And it was nuts, like objectively, like the 24th perfect game in MLB history. It was crazy. But yeah, no, you guys are right. Like, don't really care, probably because, I mean, even as a Yankees fan, like, I don't like Domingo Herman. I still don't like him. I was excited because it's an exciting thing,
Yeah.
but like in the moment, but I'm still gonna be happy when he's not on the team. I've been waiting for that day for years because
Yeah.
it's
Oh, I know.
awful.
He's been holding on to a thread for a long time. It feels like every single time it's like, oh yeah, he's done. Somebody else gets hurt, that's just how pitching is in baseball today. Guys get hurt, rotation depth is needed, and so Domingo will have a major league job for as long as he can put up 6 innings, giving up 3 runs.
I mean, the
Be a league
curveball is
average.
still
You
nasty.
guys,
Like it's a
Yeah,
great curve.
he is a consummate innings eater. And we live in a world where that matters more than his pretty abhorrent personal conduct. And he had a little controversy, I think, in 2021, where he put out this really weird cryptic message about retiring. Some of
I
his
remember
teammates,
that.
what?
Zach Britton had a quote about him that more or less was like, well, I kind of can't choose my teammates, so I'll make the best of it. But people did not want him around. And
Ew.
now he is an
Part of baseball history.
indelible part of baseball history.
His
He's
name will not be forgotten.
his name is going to be with Don Larson and David Wells and David Cohn. Like
Yeah.
specifically, There's gonna
Quadruple
be
D's.
there's gonna be a piece of the Yankees Hall of Fame that involves the most someone who should be the most disposable man in their history.
Yeah, you guys
And
raise
if
a really good point. Like,
yeah,
he should just been forgotten. He should have been like a J Happen. Like,
yeah.
I
he's
mean,
on the
how
team.
many other
Remember how
He
bad
should
he
have
players
been
who've
was?
he should have
thrown
been a Trevor Bauer is what he should have been. But
sent off
let's
to Japan?
let's now dispose of him. And we can talk about some of the other
Can
players
I just
who,
bring one more point up though about
hey,
that?
Kyle
About the perfect game.
Higashioka.
One
Kyle
more thing on the
Higashioka
perfect game.
caught a perfect game. He's been with the Yankees for what, 15 years? Longest serving guy there.
Oh man,
Good for him. If you want to feel happy for anybody, feel happy for the defenders.
yeah.
There was a ball, I think Tony Kemp hit it. There was a fly ball to right field. It would have been a home run at one park. That park was Yankee Stadium. And the A's, we'll watch Moneyball soon and we'll have a full conversation about them. But until then, really, what else can you say about them?
They are a fake team.
They are, but
I mean, except they almost swept the White Sox this weekend, so I can't even say anything anymore.
oh no, they did. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
still,
until
your
today, it looked like they were gonna sweep them, and it was like what 8-5 going into the last frame, and once again, the Sox put themselves in a position where they're like, "Oh yeah, it looks like they're trying to lose pretty much." Like, because
yeah,
that's just the sense I get from them.
yeah,
And
bad teams find ways to lose games, and
hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard, you know?
it's weird. The White Sox are bad in the way that like a team would be bad in like 1965. Like
Were you
like
around
back when like some shortstop who had like a 315 slugging would just start 150 games, and like the owners were so racist that they didn't really care about having fielding good teams, and they were just drunk at work all of the time. I hope that the White Sox front office is like having fun,
Yeah, they're probably
like
having
in their
fun because they
personal
have
life.
job security for no reason. Rick Hahn, the GM's been around since like 2005. I think he was like an assistant general manager or had a very small role in the front office. And then Kenny Williams is still there. He's the GM,
Yeah.
and they've just kept the same front office for the most part since 2005 and before then.
I really hope
And
they're just ripping shots in the Uber every
oh,
every day before they
100%.
go to work. Oh yeah, they need to be blackout drunk. So
Yeah.
I was looking up some names to see how many other pitchers of Domingo Germán's caliber have thrown a perfect game,
Yeah, I was
and
wondering.
we do have some interesting names.
You got like Philip
So,
Humber on there.
I was gonna say,
so
how many
Domingo,
names are there that we've just forgotten completely?
wait, also, I'm just gonna pull up Domingo's career ERA plus. What do you guys want to guess it is?
Like probably like 105.
100.
100. That's a good guess.
Woo!
Hold
Oh,
on,
I
hold
thought
on.
you said I was right.
No, I was not. I would never give you credit that quickly. Come on.
Congrats.
Yeah. It is, drum roll, please. It is, what is it?
Oh man.
96. It's
I was
96.
one off. I was
Okay.
one off.
Yeah. So I'm looking. We got some of the other names here around him. Dallas Braden at
Who was calling the
101.
game? He was calling the
Oh,
game
He
for the
was,
A's,
yeah,
which is crazy.
famously told A-Rod to get off his mound. That was pretty funny.
Oh, that
Sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
like a Mad Bum style red ass. But he was actually pretty good. Elbow injuries ruined his career, but he was putting up some pretty good numbers when
that
when
was Mother's Day perfect game,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was a
Yeah,
wild
yeah.
whole game.
Moving on to Don Larson at 99. Now, the myth when I've heard about him, they've always talked about him like he was some bum. Like he just
Yeah,
wandered onto
that
the
is the narrative.
like he just wandered onto the mound one day, and like through osmosis, Yogi Berra just like they just like got like the Space Jam powers or something. I don't know, but he did throw a perfect game in the World Series. You can't take that away from him.
That's insane. That'll never happen again.
What was the
Probably not.
Astros no hitter, like the combined one? That was just a no hitter, not a perfect
Yeah,
game,
that
right?
doesn't count though. I
That's
don't care about
fake.
combined no hitters
Yeah,
do
combined
nothing.
that's
Yeah,
nonsense. Who cares?
we got Tom Browning
Who?
Yep. In
I,
1985, he threw in for the Reds. Probably the most forgettable perfect game ever.
I will say when you're like a more notable pitcher, it is more exciting to watch them throw a no-hitter or perfect game. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
was just like comparing it to like the
it's
Corey
pretty.
Kluber no-hitter. Corey Kluber is a two-time Cy Young Award winner, pretty legendary pitcher, and
Yeah,
so it was pretty exciting when he threw that no-hitter.
yeah.
Domingo Germán is
And
like,
he seems like a really cool. He seems like a really cool guy. I've seen a bunch of quotes from him where he's like, he just has a very zen attitude about pitching. So he was probably pretty
Mm.
chill up there. Like, hey, I'll get it. I won't. It's a carnival game. Next, we got Lee Richmond, who pitched one in 1876.
Is
Back
that like
when,
the most Virginia name ever?
yeah, oh yeah, no,
Christ.
I wouldn't want to ask him any opinions. But he was pitching back when you were throwing underhanded and you could catch the ball on a bounce and it was an out. Um,
that can't be actually
no,
true.
it's true. It's
No, like
true.
that's not like when like this guy was not pitching then.
Yes, he was. I'm telling you,
What
based on
year?
this cursory Google
What
Google
year?
search,
What year?
1876.
They
This
changed
is
the rules by
ridiculous. That
then.
just
Yeah,
They
I don't
changed the
count
rules by
look, it
anything.
then.
doesn't count. Moving on to
Oh.
Len Barker with a 93. He was an all-star the year after he pitched his perfect game. So
Cleveland legend.
Cleveland legend, throwing it on that big, disgusting stadium.
There were
Uh,
7,000 people there to see
yeah.
it.
Oh, horrible.
Ugh.
Uh, the second lowest is 90. Charlie Robertson. He pitched this perfect game 10 years, not 10 years ago, 100 years ago.
Big difference.
And he in the season that he threw it was 255 innings of 105 ERA plus, which when you scale that to 2023 innings is probably something like Domingo Germán. So we have an analog there.
Who's number one? You got
Number
number
one, I saved him because it is Philip Umber,
ah.
Hey,
81 ERA plus.
White
He's the
Sox
classic
legend.
example. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy stands alone among all perfect game throwers. All the guys I've said before had at least some measure of success for a few years. Some of them even made all-star teams. Philip Umber was in and out.
He kind of just
Just
fell off the face of the earth. He's only, oh my God, his win-loss record, I mean, doesn't mean anything, whatever, but 16-23 in his career ERA, 5.3. I'm just looking at his Wikipedia because I was looking at the list of all perfect games thrown. But Jesus, how did this happen? Was that Mariners team just that bad?
the early 2010s Mariners are some of the
Yeah,
worst.
they were really bad.
We can do a guy remembering sort of here. We can bring up the lineup for the Philip Umber perfect game.
Yeah. Oh my God. Kyle
Like
Seager was on him though.
a young Kyle Seager.
Well, I
Young
don't know. Have you
Sure,
guys
must have
seen?
been
Eric
Have
like
you guys?
Thames.
You guys know how that game
that's a guy.
ended?
I should. I
It was
mean,
a
you got to remind me though, real
it
quick.
was a so it's a 3-2 count,
Oh,
bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
I know.
Brendan Ryan is at the plate. Terrible hitter, but one of the best shortstops of his generation. Swings, check swings, I'll say, at a 3-2 pitch.
It was a
Yeah.
drop
And the
third
umpire,
strike.
it was so far off the plate. It goes all the
Mhm.
way back to the backstop. And my perspective on check swings, they've changed over watching. I don't know about you guys, but the angles they're using, like on live TV, I'm a lot less reactive toward it. Where I'm like, they probably know what they're doing. But this looked pretty egregious. And Ryan argues as if it's the worst call he's ever seen. And he probably could have beat the throw out, but he didn't.
Yeah.
And the no hitter is thrown.
He just
Um,
stands there stomping.
yeah, which I mean, who can blame him? So we got the starting lineup here: Chone Figgins, Dustin Ackley, Ichiro.
Okay.
This is an old Ichiro though. Washed pretty. This is the year he joins the Yankees.
What was it,
Uh,
2012?
yeah, Justin
Yeah.
Smoke,
Justin
Kyle Seager,
Smoke.
Kyle Seager, respectable.
Yeah.
Jesus Montero. Oh my God,
Yucky.
that's not great. That's
He played for the Yankees, huh?
Yeah, I mean
For a tiny bit. He was like our top
he
prospect for a while.
Oh, really?
yeah, and I remember by the time he was done, the quotes that the Mariners had about him were like, "This guy just we don't want him anywhere near us. He hasn't put in any work. He basically ate himself out of the league." And this guy is hitting sixth for your team. That's not good. Michael Saunders. I remember him
Oh
being
my God.
pleasantly Canadian.
Yeah, he got traded to some contenders like a few years ago. Like Blue Jays thing they had him for a bit when they were kind of
Yeah.
having their little stretch.
And then Miguel Olivo and do you guys remember Muinori Kawasaki?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a real fun 2 months.
I remember him with the Cubs. He was
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, no, this team is really terrible. And so is Philip Umber, but that doesn't mean he wasn't perfect for a day.
So just like the
Unlike
Yerman
yeah,
rookie.
unlike Domingo Herman, who never has been and never will be perfect. And congratulations to the New York Yankees. Domingo Herman, you can kick rocks. So on to a
Boom.
player with probably the opposite reputation. James or Jamie, I should say. I'm gonna get used to that one.
Get it
You
right.
wanted to talk about Freddie Freeman.
I did want to talk about Freddie Freeman because and I know it seems like it's been a while ago, but the night we recorded the first episode, he did get his 2000th career hit at the age of 33. He is, in my opinion, the player with the highest chance, active player, to reach 3,000. I think maybe we could hear some arguments. Maybe you say Altuve, maybe you say like someone really young, like a Wander Franco or like a Vlad, but I
Luis
think,
Robert.
well, no, but
Continue.
we'll just, I'm not entertaining Luis Robert.
Yeah,
he
he is a metronome, man. He has missed.
can just, he can
He's
just
been
hit.
hurt. It looks like he's been seriously hurt once in his entire career.
Freddie, I
Um,
think he got hit in the wrist with a broke like by a pitch and missed like time because of that. It's like that's a pretty classic injury. Like a lot of
Yeah.
players have had that. I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
I feel like he'll make it to 3,000. I
I mean,
mean,
he's got 4 years
right.
under contract
Yeah.
left after this year.
Is he
He's probably
slowing
gonna
down
get
at
a
all? I
probably can
don't
get
think.
100 more hits this year. He'll be at like 2,100.
Yeah.
Then he needs to say he can average like 175 hits a year for 4 years. He's not quite at 3,000. Probably needs another contract to get to 3,000. But like you said, he's not slowing down.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
one of the probably the best first basemen in all of baseball.
oh
I
yeah,
was hearing a little bit of talk, like people were like Matt Olson should have been the starter because Matt Olson's been on a tear lately.
Mm.
Um, I think Freddie was the right choice, especially like 2 weeks ago because Matt Olson just went crazy and he has like 28 home runs now. But I think we can still say Freddie best in baseball, best first baseman in baseball at the age of
yeah.
33.
I've
And
kind of
I'd
I've
say
kind of
so.
had to upgrade my mental image of Freddie Freeman.
really,
Like, yeah, I've always known he was good, but I think like a few years ago, I still had him in my mind as like really good, but not a Hall of Famer. And now I'm just like, no, he's like I talked about him the way like people talked about Scott Rowland on Twitter when he got elected. Like
Oh,
the really smart baseball observers who crunched the numbers and said he's Hall of Very Good and then just like went about their day thinking that they were smart. I assume they like got their heads stuck in a bucket. I don't know.
no,
I
I
don't
think
like the
Freddie's just traditionally just the traditional first baseman
yeah.
who rakes,
yeah
and
I
he's
thought he was always just an
real
upper echelon of just
lunch.
first baseman for years.
yeah.
Like it was always in my mind, like him, Goldschmidt. I mean, Votto. Like thinking years ago, like
I
3 years
think he was
ago.
just I
And
think
look,
he was
those are
just
three
too
Hall of Famers you just
he was
named.
just too nice
Exactly.
and he was just too
Yeah.
nice and too consistent. I
He
guess
has
I
the
just
peak though. He has the
yeah.
peak. You have MVP.
I overlooked Freddie. And I always knew he was like an all-star, but obviously, yes, he's
I
a Hall of
mean,
Famer. He is a
he's on the
3,000 hit
highway.
getter.
He's on the Hall of Fame
And
highway.
most importantly, he is a 2023 All-Star. You guys want to go
Yes.
over these starters?
They got
Oh yeah.
reserves got announced
Yeah, the
today.
reserves and the
The
pitchers that were like
reserves.
announced today.
We don't need to go over every name, but does anybody catch your
Every
eye?
single
I
name
was
now.
shocked when Whit Merrifield got announced.
Yeah, well, I saw people on Twitter
What?
freaking out over
I
that.
was like, I mean, he's not really. He's got a 101 OPS plus at second base. There's has to be better second baseman.
I mean, is there second base?
Guess
There's
how
no.
old Whit Merrifield is?
He's like 35. Yeah, he got
34.
screwed. He got
Yeah.
screwed. Okay, we have Brent Rooker being the A's token guy. I think that's deserved.
Yeah,
Former Frederick Key legend Austin Hayes making his
he made
appearance.
it.
Yeah, you
Seventh
guys see
Wow.
there's a new minor league baseball team in Frederick.
Oh
They're
yeah,
gonna
the
they're
ghost.
gonna be in the Atlantic League, the Spire City Ghost Towns. I'll have another minor league baseball hat to add to the collection. But
It's a sweet logo they got.
yeah, it's really good because the old keys that are still in town, um, it's just it's just the draft league.
Oh,
So at this point in the year, it's just guys who didn't get drafted or like young college players. The last time I went, there were like multiple pop-ups dropped in an inning, and my mom and I were like, this is not worth it. We
yeah,
got
it's
to get
not
out of here."
baseball.
It's not baseball.
Oh my god.
Who else we got?
You got 8 Atlanta Braves, and I think they're all deserved. Their whole infield, their catcher, Acuna, Strider, and Elder. I mean, they're the best team in baseball, right?
Yeah,
Do they have the best record, or the Rays still
they
have the
did. I
best
think
record?
they just
They
caught up.
just snagged it because the Rays have been
Yeah.
scuffling a little bit.
We also answered the question that you had, Jamie. Can Mike Trout still get a starting vote because he's Mike Trout?
You can.
And it turns out he can.
That will
Yeah.
always have until he retires.
Yes, and I
So
think
low key though, you maybe would not expect that.
Wow, I actually did not fully look at these reserves. I just saw the Luis Robert
He's
news
the
that
only
he
White
made it.
Sox, right? He's the only White
Yeah,
Sox,
which the
which
whole
is
season I
fair.
was saying
That's
that.
fair. I mean, the
Thank
Yankees
God
only
they
have
made
Judge
that
and Cole.
choice. Hmm.
yeah, thank God,
Just
really.
Judge and Cole. I mean,
So
yeah,
those are the
no one
two
else
good.
deserves it.
I mean, that's the team right there.
I
They
mean, yeah,
maybe could have tossed Jake Berger in there. Wouldn't have been upset with that, but
Now
you
they
he's
know,
did
cooked.
still.
I'll take what I
That's
can
one.
get.
That's one burger I wouldn't cook.
I think the
Okay, you got to
All
fans
right,
stop.
I'm
got the
leaving,
You
voting.
got to
guys. I
stop.
gotta go.
You make me sick.
You know,
Uh,
a lot of people have said that recently. I don't know what to do about it. It's something with
Uh,
my face. Who knows?
I'm gonna read some
a little surprising
comments
that Vlad got in.
from Twitter, seeing what people think about the Whit Merrifield choice. Because I'm trying to
If
think.
you can use Twitter, your
Oh, yeah,
Twitter's working better
I
than
could look
mine
at
most of
maybe
the time.
3 tweets before it'll be like, sorry.
I
Yeah,
saw that today. What is going on Twitter?
a guy who the only thing he wants in the world is attention, and he wants people to think he's good at posting, but he's not funny. So
He's
he's
getting
just
the
gonna,
attention, but not
yeah,
for the right reasons.
yeah. All right. Before I talk about Twitter anymore, Jamie, so we're recording this pretty late at night. Jamie, do you care to tell the audience why?
Because I went to see on opening weekend Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I had a
Now,
How
great
was it?
time, and I had a great time. I
Really?
think it got kind of bashed by critics online a little bit. I saw the Rotten Tomatoes wasn't great. I would say no spoilers, but if you like Indiana Jones, it is definitely worth seeing. It's probably better than Temple of Doom, probably better than Crystal Skull. I'd probably put it third on my
Really?
ranking.
Wow.
Yeah, I quite liked it. It was like the criticisms were like it's a little bit of a green screen movie, and sometimes that hurts it. You can
Sound
tell a little
better.
bit, but thought the story was good. I'll say the stakes are very high in this movie. Um, and I really worked for me. I mean,
does that mean like is Harrison Ford like at risk of dropping dead on screen? Like that kind of stakes? He's too high at all times to have any idea what's going on.
I will say they got back to There's some good Nazi killing action, and I
Oh,
think that's kind of
perfect.
what you want
Okay.
from your Indiana Jones movie. They did do
Yeah.
the weird de-aging thing, and they did not sync up the lips with the way he spoke, which
What?
was weird. They
That
didn't
that
sync it
yeah.
up properly.
That's the biggest red flag ever.
Was there a lot of
But
like?
it was fun.
Did you guys see the Christopher Reeve get reanimated for that one for the Flash?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, who?
Yeah, so Christopher Reeve, they had to just like zombie him in to a few scenes because obviously like any movie starring Ezra Miller, they have to work around the fact that they're, just an insane person, just a cult leader, a demon. Um, so yeah, they did that. They brought back Michael Keaton. They're
Yeah.
just sort of zombie. They're just sort of doing a zombie thing.
I couldn't tell if this was like if this is supposed to be the James Gunn DC or still kind of the old DC. Because I was thinking it was James
So
Gunn.
apparently they reset their universe with that movie,
Yeah.
which is how they've always done it. They've always just used
they
Flashpoint
reset it. Yeah,
Paradox
they reset it after
as a
like
way.
one. I don't know.
Bad. It was the DCEU was really bad. And it
So
shouldn't have been. They have the template. They have like the Justice League
yeah, they have all the animated
series,
stuff.
and like they are amazing. Like all the animated stuff that DC does is phenomenal and timeless, but they just can't make a live action movie connected to anything that's
Exactly.
good.
Did
Like,
any of you guys see Shazam 2?
yeah, I did. I
You
did see that
did?
movie because it was just on Disney Plus at some point.
Oh, yeah.
I'm
So
pretty
why not?
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't go to theaters.
Did you regret
Oh
it?
no, sorry, not. Oh my gosh. I was thinking of Black Adam too. Or Black
Black
Adam.
Adam 2.
Not Black Adam 2. There's only one Black Adam. Oh, the one I saw the one with The Rock. I didn't see Shazam 2. No, I
Yeah.
didn't see that one. I saw Black Adam 2. It was The Rock is just existing is kind of funny to me.
Yeah, he's entered a new era, I think. I think as the world gets weirder, like we could see, I think he could have a political career.
Oh man. I mean,
Mm,
he
Oh,
definitely seems like the type to fall into that at some point.
he
The
definitely has
Arnold
some,
Schwarzenegger type.
he definitely
Ronald
has like
Reagan.
some real demon politics.
Just something to make his constituents happy with the fact that they just have The Rock as their
No, the funniest Rock thing I saw
whatever.
about Black Adam was actually like it's kind of went like semi-viral on social media. It was like he posted on like one of his story, like maybe it was an Instagram story. He was in like a marketing meeting for Black Adam, and he just posts on his Instagram, "I love marketing."
That's how you market today. But I didn't they like also in Black Adam just set it up for like a whole Superman
Because he
like
meets Superman at the end,
yeah,
Henry
I didn't
Cavill.
see it
Yeah,
because I don't want to waste my time. But
yeah, and they just hate Henry Cavill now. And they casted the new Superman.
yeah, I saw it. And the
I
new
forget
Lois.
it.
Hey, new Lois Lane, Rachel Brosnahan. Guess where she's from?
I don't say Israel.
No,
Highland Park.
close, very close. Yeah, Highland Park. She went to my high school.
Really?
Yeah, exactly. What is it? Emmy award winner for Miss Marvelous Maisel, whatever.
So you can get us tickets.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know
Like
her, right?
class of 2008 or
It's
probably
only like
before then.
it's only 10 years.
Yeah, yeah, certainly.
She's your neighbor, right? Come on.
Exactly. She probably still has a house up in my neck of the woods, you know. We go way back.
No, on a serious note though, I give Indiana Jones Dial of Destiny. I give it a thumbs up. If you like Indiana Jones, it's worth seeing.
Could we
As
get a rating out of 10?
How
I'll
many
give it
thumbs
like
up
an
out of
8.
5?
I'll give it like a 4 out of 5. I'll give it an 8. Like the things that could have made the movie better were just like shooting on location. Like the original Indiana Jones movies are obviously all shot on location, and that's kind of and it looks really good,
That's
especially
crazy.
for a movie in
All
the
the money
80s.
that they get these days, they
Yeah,
won't
and they
do
couldn't
that.
just shoot it on location. I mean,
Well, why would you want a movie to look good when it could just be
Exactly.
made as cheaply as possible with just a dying corpse of a
so this
man?
is not a spoiler. Like the opening scene is like him de-aged. It's like 1945 in like Poland or Germany, and it's like the very end of the war, and it's like kind of setting up the movie, and it's Harrison Ford just kicking the shit out of Nazis, and it's great. It's great. But problem is, um, the de-aging technology mentioned this. They just didn't sync up the words to his lips, and it's really weird.
Yeah. I feel like that. Like, how do you not fix that?
I don't know.
Like post
But like
production or
the
anything like that.
Indiana Jonesy parts of the movie were like really good. As I like Indiana Jones, so
Is this the end of Indiana Jones as we
yeah,
know it?
it is for Harrison Ford. Yeah, I bet once he's dead, they'll
They're gonna
reboot it.
shoot him
Once
out of
he's
sight.
dead, oh my god.
If the movie underperforms, they're going to publicly execute him.
It
And
is underperforming.
I will be here for it. Do you guys want to hear about Rugnet Odor's 2017?
Sure.
I think I know about it. This year he punched Batista, but he hit like 30
No,
bombs.
it's not. And
Yes, it is.
it's
The
Oh,
year
not.
16,
after.
16,
Come
16 is
on,
when he punched
man.
Batista.
Come
Oh,
on.
fake fan.
Come
Fake
on,
fan.
Jamie.
Oh my
Come
God.
on. Rugnet Odor, he played 162 games. Now, you stat heads among you guys know that's a lot. And that in fact that's all of them that you can play in. And in
No,
those
you can play
162
163.
games, well, that's
And if
conditioned.
you get traded, you can play even more because like Starling
I
Marte
am going
played
to
in
shove your
61.
head in a
Starling
locker.
Marte played in 61
I'm
games in
gonna
the 2020
swirly
season
you
when there
in
were
the
only 60
toilet
games.
until you call out uncle. I'm gonna make you believe in God, okay?
Give him a swirly.
So Rougned Odor, he hit 30 home runs. Let's give him a round of applause for that.
Didn't he
You
do that
know, I
multiple times?
he did
I
do that
will.
multiple times. Um, Now, bad news is what happened in all the other plate appearances. Those 30 home runs went along with 32 walks and 162 strikeouts. So that's one strikeout per game and roughly one walk for every home run. He didn't hit a lot of singles. He only hit 21 doubles. All around, he finished with a slash line of 204, 252, 397. That is a 649 OPS, a 63 OPS plus. In the entire history of Major League Baseball, there have been like 250 guys to play 162 games. He has the second worst OPS plus out of any of them.
You got to give it to him,
He
I'd say.
he basically could not be any worse in this season, despite hitting 30 home runs. He might have been swinging with his eyes closed, legitimately.
He hit 30 home runs and
Don't we
still
all?
under 400. That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Now the rest of these guys around him, the only guy below him is a former middle infielder for the Blue Jays named Alfredo Griffin. This is in 1982.
What?
Remember, this is a shortstop from the turf era in Toronto. He was not there to hit. They were like, you go out there, you play a good shortstop, you steal some bases, you run around. We're gonna cheer for you. Alcides Escobar is
Oh, we
right.
love that guy.
Yeah, same thing. It's 2017. The Royals, we don't matter. Go out there. We love you. Another name I see here in the bottom 10 is Ed Brinkman. He comes up in the old Ted Williams book, The Science of Hitting, because Ted Williams, when he was the manager of the Rangers, thought this guy was just, he was like the worst hitter in baseball. And one of the proudest accomplishments he ever had was making this guy hit 260 for a couple of years.
Better than 250.
Yeah. But all of these guys are middle infielders from a time when baseball did not care about offense from those positions, or they played for the Royals. Rougned Odor is a type of guy that does not exist anymore. He gets thrown out there year in and year out, despite clearly proving that he is not up for the job. Now, what does this say about him?
He's the main character.
He
Yes,
is.
he is the main character.
And that's
I
what's holding
love
him
that.
on.
That meme
Yeah.
was so funny.
Yeah. And he's not the best. We're not the best, but we're going to get by. And that's our show. Tune in
Beautiful
next
ending.
time where we will do better than this. And hopefully more people will listen and it will be not 11 o'clock. See ya.
But yeah.
All right. That was a good way to end.